Contacto Latino con María Juliana Rivera.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a Contacto Latino con María Juliana Rivera. Quiero contarles que este pasado fin de semana la policía de Oneil realizó varios retenes de tránsito y en ellos varias personas fueron arrestadas por drogas y por armas. Entre las drogas que decomisaron fueron crack, cocaína, heroína, fentanilo, marihuana, metanfetaminas, armas de fuego y dinero en efectivo. Y hablando de esto, es que en este mes de marzo la policía va a realizar varios retenes de este tipo, varios retenes de tránsito o checkpoints, como se les dice acá. Así que tengan mucho cuidado porque son en diferentes vías aleatorias y usted puede caer en cualquiera de estos retenes. No es que necesariamente sean de ICE o estén buscando por ilegales, pero sí tienen una función especial para proteger al público en general. Para hablar un poco más de esto, quise invitar al programa a dos abogados de la firma Oneil Law Firm. Los invité a ellos porque con ellos he trabajado varios casos desde el 2014 y quise que ellos les gustan los hispanos, entonces, y han defendido varios hispanos. Entonces, quise que fueran ellos los que nos contaran un poquito más de cómo son estos retenes de tránsito, qué hacer y todas estas recomendaciones. Así que aquí los dejo con la entrevista que le hice a Rick Oneil y a Josh, que es como más lo conocemos acá los hispanos. Bueno, y tengo en Contacto Latino hoy a dos abogados de la firma Oneil Law Firm, Rick y Josh. Welcome to Contacto Latino.
Buenas tardes.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, and I invite you guys today because we just heard the news that there's going to be a lot of checkpoints during the month of March. So the first thing that I want to ask is like, what is the purpose? What is these checkpoints? Why they exist? Le estoy preguntando por la noticia de los puntos de los retenes de policía, ¿qué es la importancia de estos retenes y qué son? So Rick, if you want to answer this one.
Well, the reason they set these checkpoints up supposedly is to check to see if people are driving with licenses, and also mainly to look for people that are driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
So the question is, in these checkpoints, tell me how you're supposed to behave. You're going to work, you get stopped, probably you're going to see another cars stopping there too. So what you do?
Yeah, you're going to know, usually they set these checkpoints up on a road that there's no way you're going to have to go through the checkpoint. And they're usually at night, but they can be during the day. And if it's at night, they're going to be well lit. There's going to be orange cones. There may even be artificial lighting set up. And they're going to do that for safety, their safety, and just so there's no collisions and no officers get hit by cars. And they're going to either pick like every 3 cars, or they could just stop, depending on how many officers they have there, their manpower, they may stop every car, and they're just going to come up and say, good afternoon, we're doing a checkpoint. Can I see your driver's license, registration, and insurance card? Okay.
If this person doesn't have the driver license, let's assume everybody has in order at least the registration and the insurance. If they don't have a driver license, what they do there?
Well, you're not required to admit, but because driving without a license is a criminal offense. They can arrest you for it. Mm-hmm. They can also be nice and only give you a ticket, but it's their discretion. But that's a crime, driving without a valid driver's license. So legally, you don't have to admit you don't have a driver's license, but if they ask you, you can just remain silent, but you're probably going to be asked to get out of the car and you're probably going to be arrested. So that's just a judgment call. Probably the best thing to do is just cooperate and tell them, I don't have a driver's license. Just be very slow with your movements. Make sure the lights are on inside your car. If you're going to go reach for something, let's say out of the glove compartment or the center console, let them know, point, and if you can speak English, tell them I'm going to look for my registration card in the glove box.
Okay. And
tell them what you're doing, just so that they don't panic and you don't get everybody on edge?
I think, if I may, I think
Yes.
they need to understand also, the people that live in Conway is they need to be prepared. I've driven through a checkpoint within the last 3 years, and you got to understand it's typically a very well lit area. So any of these sudden movements, or if they have a flashlight into your car, they can see all of that. So the best thing to do is remain calm. When I drove through that checkpoint myself as a lawyer, at nighttime, what I do is I roll my window down. I obviously stop the car, put it in park, and I place my hands on the outside of the vehicle. I don't think that that is always required. You could probably just keep them on the steering wheel so they can see your hands. But I do that to show the officers, hey, I'm safe. You can see my hands. I'm not going to go for a weapon or anything, just to make them feel the utmost comfortable. Maria, just one last piece of advice for the audience out there. Whether you are at a checkpoint or you are stopped by the police officer on the roadside, it's always important to make sure, like I said previously, that you have your insurance and your registration card and license if you have it all in one place. Not only that, keeping it one place, but also you want to make sure that all of those documents, the registration, the proof of insurance, all of that is up to date and not expired.
And just in general, when you're driving a car, make sure all the lights are operating on your vehicle, headlights and so on. Check those periodically. And another thing in this country, while it may not be a offense in the country that you're from, is it's illegal to, in the state of South Carolina, to have open containers of alcohol while the vehicle's being driven. So avoid that. It's best not to, if you get stopped, to have any alcohol in the car that the officer can see, because that's just going to be the point of suspicion. What's going on? Is the driver drinking? Is this a DUI? Are people drinking underage? Do they have open containers? Let's search the car. It just causes problems.
What about like empty cans, like beer, because you had it like from Sunday and you got it there? Like if it's an empty can of beer, can get you in trouble too?
No, if it's empty. But I mean, I've had many clients tell us that can was from last weekend at the football game, and the officer said it was an open container. It was old, and how do you prove that? So it's best just not to put yourself in that situation in the first place.
Bueno, espero que les haya quedado un poco más claro acerca de qué hacer y cómo comportarse en estos retenes. Si alguno de ustedes o algún familiar es arrestado o tiene algún problema con un ticket de tránsito, también puede contactarme a mí, a la línea de Contacto Latino, ya sea por texto o llamarme al 843-457-3134, y yo trataré de ayudarlos y aconsejarles a ver cuál es el mejor abogado o qué pueden hacer en estos casos. Así que cuídense mucho, mucha precaución al manejar, sigan todos los consejos, especialmente lo de las latas vacías. Gracias por acompañarme y nos vemos próximamente.
Contacto Latino con María Juliana Rivera.